The
Hi
broadcast
everyone,
is now
here to
starting. All
assist.
attendees are in listen-only mode.
Be glad to help and take a look at the AbleTrend signals. We always combine multiple time frames in one chart. That's what helps to keep us out of a lot of trouble. And let's just jump right in. So. There we go. Let's take a look at a daily, weekly chart. Because the software works, equally well for stocks longer term, and that's good for people who just don't like to spend their days in front of the computer all day long, or they're working all day long, because you can't be two places at once. You do have to, to be successful. You do, if day trading, you have to be in front of it all day long. I mean, just nobody knows when those big moves are going to come. And today was a really choppy day. Today was just a trendless intraday, just a very choppy, trendless type day, and we're all at the mercy of the market. There's nothing any of us can do about that. I wish every day could be like Tuesday, which was about a 200-point winning day. It was just nice and smooth. But when you get those really choppy days, fortunately, we're combining multiple time frames, so we're only trading about half the day, which is good. Because the less you trade in a choppy day, the less you lose, because nobody wins, and I mean nobody on a trendless, choppy type day. But we'll take a look at that chart in a minute. Let's just for the longer term, which works just as well. You get just combine it. We combine a daily, weekly. Now for a swing, 130-minute daily is a very good chart for a swing, a little shorter time frame. Couple days, maybe a week or two, 130-minute daily, and it's already in your workspaces if you have the AbleTrend platform, so it's already there. But this is the S&P 500, buy signal here. Now these arrows are the weekly buy signals, so I mean we've had these for months, and as you can see here on the daily charts. I mean, green bars, and it just doesn't, just going sideways the last couple of days. So you do have very nice support below the price. There's your perfect sweet spot a week and a half ago at 432, and we're at 439 today. So we'll stay in it as long as we stay above the blue dots. And to change the symbols, real simple. You just pop in any symbol. Like here, I just put Apple. All I did was type Apple on the keyboard and click enter. That's all I did. Apple and then enter. So Apple, same thing. Above support, stay in the trade, you're safe. As long as you've got these blue dots below, then that's what gives us the short-term direction. It means stay in the trade. The blue dots will support. They block the prices from going lower. So there's the first arrow, and right after that, there's the first blue bar. So, nice little signal here on Apple. We're still in this one. For a disciplined AbleTrend trader who just does what it says, we got in over here a nice price there at about 133, and still in it at 145, and great for options, obviously Apple and SPY, QQQ. I mean, those are great stocks or ETFs for options. You got Tesla. I mean, all I'm doing is typing on the keyboard. I haven't looked at Tesla in a while. Let's take a look. Well, all I did was type Tesla and then click enter on the keyboard. Again, notice how, support is, notice how the prices can't close underneath. It might dip below in the middle of the day. By the end of the day, it tends to close, at or above the blue dots. So, just, stay in the trade. You're safe. So, pretty good stuff on the daily weeklies. I'm actually big on the weekly monthlies for retirement and long-term accounts. So I like to just stay in the trades as long as possible. I mean, it's a lot less stressful that way. Going for the intraday, because we certainly want to look at that. Real popular to use software for that. Now, this is how I like to set my chart up. Intraday, you could set up any way you want. There's a million ways you could set it up. The lower left is just a Nasdaq scalp chart. I just like to look at the scalp because a lot of people use the scalp chart. So, when they call up or when somebody's asking a question, I've got it right in front of me here. Upper left is the Nasdaq. Upper right is the Russell. Bottom right here is the S&P. I'm always looking at all three at the same time. I think it helps on a choppy day like today. Because if you go back to Tuesday, you know, and I went over every trade in the Tuesday webinar, I mean, it was just super smooth. I mean, you don't have to look at anything else when, you know, when it's just all red and going down or all blue and going up. But it's the tricky days. And, you know, these are the days, I mean, this is the reason people aren't just, you know, the whole world isn't a trader. This is what makes people quit. It's what, you know, makes people go a little wacky because of these, you know, not volatile, actually not. The VIX is only 17 today. So that's another reason why it wasn't really a strong trending day. You know, when that VIX starts to get under 20, it's a harder day to win. You know, you want it up at, you know, upper teens and higher. So I always check the VIX every day. It's on CNBC. If you don't have a VIX chart, you can just CNBC.com, upper right corner, you'll see the VIX there. It's always there. But I like to look at three charts, these three indices at the same time. And I think it's helpful in a choppy market. That's what I'm saying, because today was a choppy day, a trendless type day. Now, first trade of the day, a couple of minutes after the market opened, we had a triple confirmation buy signal. I also checked the 15-minute chart. I always have the four indices, as you can see, NQ, Russell, ES. I just put the Dow up here. Quite frankly, I never even look at it. But I like to put even numbered charts in the workspaces, because if you put an odd number like 3, 5, or 7, the charts just get a little funky looking. So I always like to keep an even numbered charts in each workspace. But I'm constantly looking at the 15-minute chart, and because I think it just gives you good direction. You can see the 15-minute chart, you know, was clearly on a buy signal on all at you know, when the market opened, on all three indices right here. It's 9:30 Eastern time. So 29, the way you read the chart is 29 is the day of the month today, and then /9:30 is 9:30 at, you know, the open. So, you know, you see all three indices, you know, clearly in an uptrend. You see, let's go back to 9:30 here. 9:30 here, New York time, you know, Eastern time. I mean, buy signal on the Russell, buy signal on the S&P. So I know that's a long bar there, but when you're looking at this when you're looking at this live and all three of them at the same time, I mean, that's a great signal. You know, you got to take it. I mean, that's a signal to take a little more risk. That's my point. If you want to take a little more risk, it's a long bar, and I agree. Beginning of the day, long bar, I usually, you know, run away from it. I'm not touching it. When you see everything in agreement, it's like if you're going to take a chance, that's a good time to do it. You know, and that turned out good. You know, there's the two greens, because we don't even think about getting out. And stop would go just 2 points below the bottom of the bar. The dot's just too far away. So two greens right there. So a couple of minutes later, looks like about in there. You know, we're stopped out. So we're out at 60, in at 30. You know, first trade day was good. It was 30 points. And boy, we're going to need that, because we got beat up after that. I mean, it just was not fun. But what I'm saying is, and here, if I click on this G1, by the way, if you click on the G1 and then you just like click here on the chart. Oh, let's try it again. No, that wasn't fun. Okay. If you click on the G1, and this way you can look at all the charts at the same time. It's real simple. Like, for example, you got a no trade zone. So if you just click right there on all four charts, it pops up at the same time. So it's pretty cool. You know, you don't have to mess around with scrolling back and this and that. All you got to do is click on the G1 and then click on the chart. And at the same, obviously we're in a no trade zone here in the Nasdaq. So let's just go back. Let's just kind of roll along forward. Okay, that's clearly a buy signal. It's a triple confirmation buy signal. I like that the Nasdaq, the Russell was already in a buy signal, so no reason not to take it. The S&P just started a buy signal also, just as well as the Nasdaq. Got to take it. So up and away we go. There's two. Well, clearly we're out on the second lower row of blue dots right here. We'd be stopped out. So didn't make much on that trade. Maybe 5 points. You know, $50. But that's all the market's given us. You know. So what I'm saying is like here. There's another buy signal. You know, And, everything else looked okay on the other charts. So got to take it. Got to take it. And that one turned out to be a kind of gave the 5 points back that we won on the trade before that. Obviously, no trade. This is one just big, gigantic no trade zone. This is a triple confirmation sell signal. I'd be again, nothing wrong with taking it, but you're in a no trade zone only because it's a choppy morning. If it was a real smooth trending morning, you don't even have to look at the other charts. Like Tuesday was just, was like one of the best days of the year. But I like to look at all three right here. The bottom left chart doesn't mean anything. This is just a scalp chart. So you don't even have to look at that, But I do look at the 15-minute constantly. Look at the 15-minute here. You can see 15-minute looks fine on all these other charts. The only thing, when you start to get way above the dots, as same thing on the 1 minute, on the 15-minute, on the daily, tends to pull back. And we're getting like over here, a little while later, you'll see, when there's a big space between the top, where the prices are at that moment, you're looking at it, and the blue dot is a real big space, right? It tends to pull back. Same thing here, getting a little away from the dots, but everything has blue dots. And again, it's real important to look at the dots. Constantly looking at those dots. The dots, everything is blue. Okay, well, got to take, this is interesting. We have a sell signal now, yet everything is blue. The Russell's clearly on a buy. Then the S&P's in the no trade zone, and you clearly have very strong support below it. As you can see here, it hit support, stopped, and went up. It's going to hit support here and stop and go. So the point is, on a choppy day, if you're going to skip one, that'd be one you want to skip. Why? Because at that time, everything else was revert. Nothing agreed with that. Again, on the normal day, and I keep saying this, but I got to keep repeating it because some people are questioning. You got to just say things many times before it sinks in, and I get that. I totally get that. I'm the same way with some things too, so that's okay. But I'm just saying, if everything is completely the opposite and it's a choppy market, it's not a real smooth morning, you got to second guess. Those are the ones it's okay to skip. Simple as that. So, like, for example, here's one here. Oh, that's the one we just looked at. Okay, here. Try again. Not being too friendly. Okay, there we go. Okay, now this one you want to take. Why? Because you got 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute on the Russell. You're in a no trade zone on the S&P, but 2 minutes are starting to come in now. So again, they don't all have to be in the same direction. You'll miss so many trades. You'll say to myself, why am I looking at the other chart? I missed out on a lot of good stuff. I agree. I repeat. When it's a narrow trading range, the VIX is low. It's just, you can see the market's really not going up or down. It's just kind of going up a little, down a little, up a little, down. There's no trend in place. This one you got to take. I mean, I don't even know the result of this one, but this one you want to take because you've got you got 1 minute on ES, you got 1, 2, 3 on the Russell. You're starting to get way above the dots. On the 15 minutes, so no reason. There's no reason not to take it. Actually, you're in the dead zone right here. Also, 12:41 Eastern is lunchtime, so that's the dead zone. However, we're in here, we're out there. That turns out to be about a break even. Okay, no trade. Okay, here's 1:30, and this is usually a good time. I love that 2 o'clock Eastern time trade. Right there, you got a buy signal on NQ. You're on a buy on ES. That's okay. You're on a sell on RTY. You're pulling back to support on the 15s, but that's okay. They're on a buy. So I don't see any reason not to take it. In other words, if the other indices had red dots on the chart or red arrows and red dots, again, on a choppy day, you don't take it. And that one turned out, that one we lost 6 or 7 points on that one because we're short here at 69. And when the bar trend's red, of course, we're out here at 63. So we lost 6 points on that trade right there. This one, it's a valid trade right there on the NQ. But the Russell's saying the opposite. 1, 2, 3 going the other way. So this one would cause me a little concern. And the S&P at that exact time is in a no trade zone. And again, you've got that really strong support. These markets are all, especially the NQ and the ES, they're more tied together. The Russell sometimes goes off on its own, so that's okay. I'm not so concerned about the Russell agreeing with the Nasdaq. I really like, again, only on a choppy day, I really want to see the ES in agreement with the NQ because they're more closely tied, meaning many of the stocks in the NQ are also in the ES. The Russell, completely different. That's all small caps. So, that's a valid trade right there. And we lost because it obviously, got the red bar with the red dot right here. So we lost, it looks like about 7 or 8 points on that one. Short right here. There's another short right there. That one you have to take because Russell, S&P, everything is clearly on a short. The only thing that would make me concerned is if the blue dots on the 15-minute are right below it, then I won't take it. I won't take a trade if the 15-minute and if the price you're going to get in is right at the blue dot, meaning because the 15-minute support is like a steel wall, super strong. Then especially on a choppy day, I'm just not going to touch it because you got really strong support. And there's no better chart than the 15-minute chart. If you had a gun to my head and said you can only use one chart, one time frame, which one do you pick? I picked a 15-minute. The 15-minute is scary accurate. So, and I'm talking about the dots. The dots on the 15-minute red and blue dots are really super accurate. So I wouldn't want to go short if I'm right up against a blue dot. If you're going short on the 1, 2, 3 and your price is way up here, you still got like 10 or 20 points to go before you hit the 15-minute dot, jump on it, take it. But I wouldn't touch these two cells only for the fact that you were right at the 15-minute support points. There was no harm done there. There would have been about 2 break-even trades. And then that's the end of the day. Actually, a big move came right at the end of the day, but can't count that. That was like a couple of minutes right before the open. So the afternoon was real choppy. The afternoon has been so good lately too. But the afternoon was real choppy. We got killed, but it was just real choppy. So what I'm trying to do is, and I've been wanting to put these charts up for months now, but everybody has different skill levels in trading. And when I do this, I just get inundated with calls and emails. I don't understand. What are you saying? And then I have to repeat myself 10,000 times. So I hate to introduce additional things to the chart, but I just said, you know what? For those of you who do get it, and are a little bit more experienced with a more experienced AbleTrend trader, maybe a little more trade savvy, you can roll with this if you like. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying this is exactly what I look at all day long. The 15 minutes on the other workspace, and then the 1, 2, 3 on the 4. I just put a scalp chart up here. But on the 3 indices here, I'm just always watching them all day long. I find it helpful. Some people might look at it and go, you know what? It's too confusing. I don't like it. That's okay. Let me get rid of that. That's okay. You don't. I'm not saying you have to do it. Don't do it. It's just something that I like to do, especially when the market tends to be a little, in a narrow trading range, and when the VIX, like was at 17 today, when the VIX gets lower, those are days you might want to kind of use. Sometimes you need additional arsenal in your, a little more ammunition. Sometimes you need a little more ammunition. That's a good way to look at it. Sometimes, one gun won't do it. You need a little extra up there. And on those days, feel free to do that. Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying, Steve. Yeah, it was a tough day today. Yeah, Tuesday was best day of the week, one of the best days of the month. But you got earnings reports coming out this week. You had the Fed meeting yesterday. So it's been a little choppy week. But luckily we had that great day Tuesday because it makes up for a day like today, which was not so much fun. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, Hanny. Same chart I've been using for many, many years. And I do 100 of these webinars a year. Feel free to go back and review them. Every one of them is on YouTube. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. Yes, sir. Same as always. You're welcome, Lon. You're welcome, Steve. You too. Have a good weekend. And I'll take one more look here. Hanny, I'm assuming you want it on a daily, weekly chart. TGH. If you've been away a long time, watch the webinars. They're all on YouTube. You're welcome, Rick. Watch the webinars, Hanny. I don't have to do any of them, but I do 100 a year for everybody to be as helpful as I can. Obviously, real into what I do here, and I just want to be helpful. Let me put this one chart up here for you. Oh, TGH, as you can see, we had a very, very nice buy signal on it 2 months ago. There's your triple confirmation trade. You've got a weekly buy signal, the arrow. You've got the daily dot, the buy signal there. Up and away we go. And now now it just broke above. Oh, you want it on an intraday chart? That's not something I can put up right now. So if you're going to do an intraday stock chart, you have to use a 3 minute, 9 minute combination. For intraday stocks, 3 minute, 9 minute combination works the best. Unless it's a very volatile, an Apple, an Amazon, a Tesla, then you can use a 1 minute, 3 minute for stocks. But if it's just a normal trading type like TGH, use a 3 minute, 9 minute combination. And you have already that saved in your workspaces by clicking on File, Open Workspace. So I hope that was helpful for you. Be glad to help anytime. Thanks everyone for being here. All these webinars are on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in our company, AbleSys. And I think you'll find that very helpful. I'm always here to help. Feel free to call anytime. I'm always at my desk. Call or email. I'll be glad to help you anytime. Thank you, sir.